got turned. It looks like I have some connection issues, so I hope that that's not an issue. But hey, what up? Everybody all right? I ain't seen y'all since last Wednesday on Hump Day and shit. Y'all good? All right. So, I would like to take this time out to say thank you. I've been on live stream for a long time, a lot of years. Thank y'all for watching. You know, when I first started, I didn't even know I had my ears in. When I first started going live, a lot of my family and friends wrote me off as crazy, and that bothered me. And it was thanks to you guys, because I started on Facebook going live. Still on it. Thank y'all for watching, supporting through the years, and still supporting. Okay. Thank y'all for helping me. No, that ain't crazy. Sorry. I got turned. Also, just to let y'all know, like I said, I'm human, right? I get very nervous on camera. I know I've said that for years, but I just want to make sure, you know, the new people watching know that I am nervous as all out, all the time. Okay, I might be shaking. It's okay. All right, the things that you struggle with, that's what you put yourself into. Okay. I don't like speaking in front of people, whether on a cell phone or physically, but I've done it a lot, and I still do it on my cell phone. I did it in corporate office and corporate management, and I'm doing it, you know, on live. I don't like it, but it's parts that I do like, right? So look at the positive sides of your weaknesses, right? So anyway, I haven't went live over this in 4 years. The Kybalion. Yes, Hermeticism. So, of course, in the secret book of John that we're doing, which is going to flow into and segue into Pistis Sophia, those are really high mysteries, right? And then, of course, we're doing the golden sayings of Epictetus, okay? So let's say secret book of John, Pistis Sophia, let's say those are master mysteries. That's what we're going to say, okay? Golden sayings of Epictetus are teaching mysteries, right? Right? Okay. This right here is student mysteries, or what they call initiation mysteries, okay? Yes, I'm a master. Yes, master. But I don't call myself a master. I know I'm referred to as that. Thank you. But a master is nothing without staying a student, okay? So this is a student book, an initiation book, all right? This is the master key to get into the other secret doors, okay? Every secret society around the globe uses this basis, okay? As you will hear, every religion around the world is based on the Kybalion. Okay, the Kybalion has 7 Hermetic principles, which I call the 7 universal principles. Okay, these principles are the principle of mentalism. I probably should have read it before I just hopped on live and think I can go from my memory. I got short-term memory loss. Shout out to marijuana. So the first principle is the principle of mentalism. Okay. And that means you probably already saw it in post. You probably commented it. You just didn't know what book it was from. It was from this book. And that means the all is mind, the universe is mental. Okay. And that also deals with telepathy. Okay. And how to hypnotize people. Okay. It's mental work. Shout out to psychology. All right. One of my degrees is in that. The second universal principle is, let's see, which one will I go with? Since I didn't look at them first, the principle of correspondence. Right? I posted about this recently in the macro. As above, so below, as above. That's the principle of correspondence that did not come from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Shout out to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. We've already went live and walked all through that. We'll come down. Sorry, I got turned. It's from the Kybalion. So everybody's saying this, but I don't think they know what book it's from. This is from 1912, from the Yogi Society, Masonic Temple of 1912, Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to my brothers. Sorry, got turned. The third Hermetic principle, universal principle, is the principle of vibration. So everybody now is, oh, vibes. Oh, yeah, it was a vibe. I mean, even the world is using this in commercials, you know, come to our club or drink our product or use our product, do good vibes. Do they know the principle of vibration? People talk about energy. Shout out to Michael Jackson, ABC 1, 2, 3. There are energy levels, energy planes of A, B, and C. But people like, oh, I don't like her energy. I don't like his energy. Yeah, I wouldn't vibing with them. They don't even know the principles of vibration, bro. So please make sure you know what you're talking about. Okay? That comes from the Kybalion. All right? The fourth universal principle is the principle of polarity. Okay? That means everything is dual. Okay? This is what a lot of people are caught up in, which is duality. Right? They think it's good against bad, right against wrong. At a low degree it is, okay? But at a higher degree, not only is everything dual and opposite, everything is also the same. All opposites are the same. They differ in degree. Hot and cold is the same, okay? They're the same. They differ by degree because you're never all the way hot. You're never all the way cold. You're at a degree of hot or you're at a degree of cold because it's the same. It varies by degrees. Love and hate, same thing. They vary by degrees. Now, when you talk about polarity, you just got to make sure you're using the right poles. Okay? It's okay. I got you. So if you're scared and you're in fear, okay, you probably don't need to be praying and meditating and trying to use strength, right? Oh, I'm praying for strength because I'm scared. Wrong pole, okay? That's when you're in weakness, you pray for strength, okay? But if you're in fear, okay, you start vibrating on the pole of courage because that's the opposite of fear, okay? You fuck around and be caught up in fear and you strength and you end up hurting somebody or yourself. Wrong pole. You need courage, right? Polarity. I think that was 4. And then the principle of rhythm, okay? The pendulum swings to the right. Same way it swings to the right is the same way it's going to swing to the left. Rhythm compensates, okay? So somebody might be in a good place in life right now. I'm telling you the law. It's going to swing back and back and back, all right? Life goes up and down or swing by swing, however you want to call it, all right? That's the principle of rhythm, okay? And then you have the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. We talk about the one, the source. We call him the ultimate cause, or we call it the ultimate cause. And if the ultimate cause is good, then every effect that happens here is good, no matter what the human opinion is, okay? Be careful not to be like the vulgar and the masses that don't do nothing but scream, yell, and complain, conspiracy theories all day long. That's not where you're supposed to be at if you're trying to say that you're spiritual. You got to think above that. You know the causes and effects of it, but you know the ultimate cause is the ultimate God, okay? Everything that happens is all good, all right? And then we have the principle of mental gender. Okay, which means everything is positive. Everything is masculine and feminine. Okay, masculine is your I am. Okay, feminine is your me. If you don't have an I am, okay, then some person that is strong in their I am will impress their I am on your me, and now you become a follower. This is how people get caught up in the matrix. Right? They believe what the government tells them and what the TV tells them because the TV and the government is strong enough in the I am parts of their dark, right? right? And if you're not strong in your light of your I am, it's going to press up on your me, which is your feminine part. And then you're going to be reproducing shit that comes from their I am and not from your personal I am. All right? It's okay. We'll go through them in detail. I think I got it all. Principle of mentalism, I said that. Correspondence, I said that. Vibration, I said that. Polarity, I said that. Rhythm, I said that. Cause and effect, I said that. Mental gender, I said that. I got all 7. There we go. Whew. Who says short-term memory? Who says you can't smoke weed and remember shit? Sorry. I said sorry. So, again, this is a beginner's book. It would also explain why I don't become famous or have podcasts and make money off of this. I can't. Okay? And I don't want to. Never have wanted to. But this is explain kind of how we are in secret societies. And it's not saying you need to join a secret society. You want to be initiated? Fine. People that's been on my page know they already initiated. I initiate in big groups like that, you know. But I can't go out in public and try to get on a huge platform because I know what happens. And we'll go through all of that. Okay. All right. So this is the master key. Okay. Shout out to Hermes Trismegistus. This is who I dedicate this to. And of course, all the sons of light, they call us, and if you look at the word Hermeticism, the root word is hermit. Okay? Santa Claus was a hermit. Yeah, old Saint Nicholas was a hermit. Jesus was a hermit. All right? Muhammad was a hermit. Buddha was a hermit. Okay? So that means that we're not reaching for material things or fortune and fame. Hermits don't do that. You know, we like to stay in hoodies and stay, you know, off away from everybody and stuff. That's how we roll. We'll stop talking so much. Okay. Y'all ready? Let's go.
The Kybalion.
The Kybalion.
A study of the Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt and Greece.
Shout out to Egypt.
By 3 initiates.
3 initiates.
This is a LibriVox recording.
Sorry. 3 initiates are Ammon, Tap, and Asclepius. And yes, I'm part of the Tap Brotherhood. We still in this bitch. Let's go.
All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain.
Shout out to LibriVox.
For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.
Yeah.
Recording by Algie Pug. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding.
The Kybalion.
Published by the Yogi Publication Society, Masonic Temple, Chicago, Illinois, 1912.
1912.
Dedication to Hermes Trismegistus, known by the ancient Egyptians as the Great and Master of Masters. This little volume of Hermetic teachings is reverently dedicated.
Yes, thank you, Hermes. I love you.
The Kybalion.
The Kybalion.
Introduction.
Let's go.
We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrines this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings. There has been so little written upon this subject, notwithstanding the countless references to the teachings in the many works upon occultism, that the many earnest searchers after the arcane truths will doubtless welcome the appearance of this present volume.
Everybody love it.
The purpose of this work is not the enunciation of any special philosophy or doctrine, but rather is to give to the students a statement of the truth that will serve to reconcile the many bits of occult knowledge that they may have acquired, but which are apparently opposed to each other, and which often serve to discourage and disgust the beginner in the study.
So, hold up. When you begin the study of occultism, this is the beginner's book of occultism, bro. Okay? A lot of students and beginners, they get conflicted. Okay? For example, this doesn't have to be about occultism. Let's go in the Bible. A part of the Bible, there's a place in the Bible that says, if you don't love your father and mother and follow me, I mean, you cannot follow me if you don't love your father and mother. Okay? Then another part says, if you don't hate your father and mother, you can't follow me. Okay? That's called a paradox. Okay, so as you get on this path of occultism, you're going to be like, wait, but this says this and this says this. This is a great reconciler of understanding that. Okay, because it's a mystery of loving your mother and father, and it's another mystery because your actual father, right, is Source, and your mother would be the Holy Spirit. Those are the ones that you love and then you hate. She calls herself a virgin above and a viper below. So you hate the viper below part of her, which is Lord Sophia, Lord Wisdom, Dark Wisdom. Okay, and you also hate the rulers, archons that brought you here, shout out to Yaltabayoth, in this cage of a body, which would be your father. Those are the two that you hate. But see, if you don't know the rest of the mysteries, it's going to seem conflicting. And we're going to go over a part of this that's called the divine paradox. Okay, all paradoxes will be reconciled. Let's go.
Our intent is not to erect a new temple of knowledge, but rather to place in the hands of the student a master key with which he may open the many inner doors in the temple of mystery through the main portals he has already entered.
You're already in there.
There is no portion of the occult teachings possessed by the world which have been so closely guarded as the fragments of the Hermetic teachings which have come down to us over the tens of centuries which have elapsed since the lifetime of its great founder, Hermes Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods, who dwelt in old Egypt in the days when the present race of men was in its infancy. Contemporary with Abraham, and, if the legends be true, an instructor of that venerable sage, Hermes was and is the great central son of
Hold up. Shout out to Hermes Trismegistus, who is the central son of occultism, but hold up. I got a question. I want you to do your research. You know who wrote Genesis? You don't know? You know who wrote Exodus? You don't know? You know who wrote Leviticus? Do you know who wrote Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy? Joshua, Judges, 1st, 2nd Samuel, and 1st, 2nd Kings, and 1st, 2nd Chronicles, and Ezra, and Nehemiah, and Esther, and Job, and Psalms, and Proverbs. Yes, I know every book of the Bible. I'm a master. But anyway, Moses wrote the first 5 books. That's the law of Moses. Wait, when did you hear that Moses got some kind of... Moses wrote the story of Abraham. When did Moses have a vision that somebody set him down and told him, have you read the book? Have you read the Bible and seen how in detail it's written in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and the rest? Who told Moses this shit? Or did Moses? What's going on? But anyway, they say that Hermes Trismegistus is the one that taught Abraham. Judaism, Christianity is an Abrahamic religion. Islam is an Abrahamic religion. Why ain't nobody ever talked about Hermes Trismegistus? I'll let you listen. Here we go.
Occultism, whose rays have served to illumine the countless teachings which have been promulgated since his time. All the fundamental and basic teachings embedded in the esoteric teachings of every race may be traced back to Hermes. Even the most ancient teachings of India undoubtedly have their roots in the original Hermetic teaching. From the land of the Ganges, many advanced occultists wandered to the land of Egypt and sat at the feet of the master. From him they obtained the master key, which explained and reconciled their divergent views, and thus the secret doctrine was firmly established. From other lands also came the learned ones, all of whom regarded Hermes as the master of masters. And his influence was so great that in spite of the many wanderings from the path on the part of the centuries of teachers in these different lands, there may still be found a certain basic resemblance and correspondence which underlies the many and often quite divergent theories entertained and taught by the occultists of these different lands today. The student of comparative religions will be able to perceive the influence of the Hermetic teachings in every religion worthy of the name now known to man, whether it be a dead religion or one in full vigour in our own time. There is always certain correspondence in spite of the contradictory features, and the Hermetic teachings act as the great reconciler.
I told you.
The life work of Hermes seems to have been in the direction of planting the great seed truth, which has grown and blossomed in so many strange forms,
Here we go.
rather than to establish a school of philosophy which would dominate the world's thought. But nevertheless, the original truths taught by him have been kept intact in their original purity by a few men in each age who, refusing great numbers of half-developed students and followers, followed the Hermetic custom and reserved their truth for the few who are ready to comprehend and master it.
Yes.
From lip to ear, the truth has been handed down among the few.
Yes.
There have always been a few initiates in each generation in the various lands of the earth who kept alive the sacred flame of the Hermetic teachings. And
so hold the fuck up. I told y'all it's global. Alright? Okay? We spread all over the world. We're the ones that keep the flame alive. We're the ones that keep the light alive. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be one of us. You can be. Actually, you already are. You just forgot. We're just trying to get you to remember. Okay? Alright? So, like you've heard, this is through every religion around the world. All of them know about this. This is the basis. Okay? Before you go crawling, because what I did, I went into the higher mysteries first, and then, people started telling me, yeah, but we here on Earth still. I don't care about Earth. I'm in light. I'm in the 13th ion. Son of light. Rah, rah. Yeah, but I still have to function here. See, some people are so caught up in knowledge and wisdom and spirituality, they're just like, fuck it here. No. It's not no fuck it here. Okay? The below is as the above. So you can't say fuck the below. It's as the above. You need to learn how to work in balance. Shout out to Yin and Yang. Here we go.
Which have always been willing to use their lamps to relight the lesser lamps of the outside world.
That's what we do.
When the light of truth grew dim and clouded by reason of neglect.
Yes.
And when the wicks became clogged with foreign matter. There were always a few to tend faithfully the altar of the truth, upon which was kept alight the perpetual lamp of wisdom. These men devoted their lives to the labour of love, which the poet has so well stated in his line.
Say it.
Oh, let not the flame die out.
We won't let
cherished age after age in its dark cabin, in its holy temples cherished, fed by pure ministers of love, let not the flame die out.
We won't let it
These
go
men
out.
have never sought popular approval, nor numbers of followers. They are in...
Whoops, I told y'all. I don't seek popular approval or a number of followers. It's not what I do. It's not what I've ever done. Right? I've never put on a Patreon up here. I've never told y'all, hey, give me money. I've never told, I don't do that, bro. Here we go.
Different to these things, for they know how few there are in each generation who are ready for the truth, or who would recognize it if it were presented to them.
Listen.
They reserve the strong meat for men, while others furnish the milk for babes. They reserve their pearls of wisdom for the few elect, who recognize their value and who wear them in their crowns, instead of casting them before the materialistic vulgar swine, who would trample them in the mud and mix them with their disgusting mental food.
With their mental food.
But still these men have never forgotten or overlooked the original teachings of Hermes regarding the passing on of the words of truth to those ready to receive it, which teaching is stated in the Kybalion as follows.
Say it.
Where fall the footsteps of the Master, the ears of those ready for his teaching open wide. And again, when the ears of the student are ready to hear, then cometh the lips to fill them with wisdom. But their customary attitude has always been strictly in accordance with the other Hermetic aphorism, also in the Kybalion. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. There are those who have criticised this attitude of the Hermetists, and who have claimed that they did not manifest the proper spirit in their policy of seclusion and reticence. But a moment's glance back over the pages of history will show the wisdom of the masters, who knew the folly of attempting to teach to the world that which he was neither willing nor ready to receive. The Hermetists have never sought to be martyrs, and have instead sat silently aside with a pitying smile on their closed lips, while the heathen raged noisily about them in their customary amusement of putting to death and torture the honest but misguided enthusiasts who imagined that they could force upon a race of barbarians the truth capable of being understood only by the elect who are...
So he's saying that we stand by. I stand by. When I was live on live stream, TikTok wasn't here, Twitch wasn't here, Instagram Live wasn't here, YouTube Live wasn't even here. It was just Facebook Live. So I've seen this whole wave of all these people that think they're going to save the world and spread spirituality to the world and be the one, Bill Carson, and all of that. We just sit back and laugh at them. They think they're going to do it with their fame and the money that they make from, talking about knowledge and wisdom. That's not how this goes, broski. We are the few. Not just us. Some of you that's listening are the few. Not the many. You try to put this unto the many, it's not going to work. Like he said, the many are going to sit there and kill you and torture you because you thought that you can give them something like this, and all they're going to do is trample on it and turn it around and yell, "Crucify!" Just like they yelled at another one that came here and tried to give some teachings.
Advanced along the path, and the spirit of persecution has not as yet died out in the land. There are certain Hermetic teachings which, if publicly promulgated, would bring down upon the teachers a great cry of scorn and revilement from the multitude, who would again raise the cry of "Crucify! Crucify!" In this little work we have endeavoured to give you an idea of the fundamental teachings of the Kybalion, striving to give you the working principles, leaving you to apply them yourself, rather than attempting to work out the teaching in detail.
Right.
If you are a true student, you'll be able to work out and apply these principles.
You will?
If not, then you must develop yourself into one, for otherwise the Hermetic teachings will be as words, words, words to you.
So, let's say you're not ready for this right now. That's fine. Develop yourself. Okay? Use this to develop yourself. I wasn't ready. Ain't no master around the world ever been ready. Ain't no teacher around the world ever been ready. Ain't no student around the world ever been ready. Okay? All of us have went through those three stages: being a student, being a teacher, and being a master. And we struggle with even calling ourselves master because we have to stay as a teacher and we have to stay as a student. So if I have to stay on the first step, why would I be so happy that I made it to the third step or the final step when I cannot stay at this final step unless I stay rooted in my student step? So it's important that I, for myself, like I told y'all, I learned from myself. I go back and watch me. When I go on break, that's when I go out and try to see other people's interpretations and breakdowns on what I study and what I know and maybe what I don't know, and I'm learning from them. But when I'm on live, in the years that I'm on live and not on break, I just watch me and learn from me, bro. All right, here we go.
The Three Initiates. End of introduction to the Kybalion.
We got a little bit more. Just a little bit. Hermetic philosophy.
Chapter 1 of the Kybalion by Three Initiates.
Here we go.
This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 1. The Hermetic Philosophy.
Yes.
The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding.
The Kybalion.
The Kybalion. From old Egypt have come the fundamental esoteric and occult teachings which have so strongly influenced the philosophies of all races, nations and peoples for several thousand years. Egypt, the home of the pyramids and the Sphinx, was a birthplace of the hidden wisdom and the mystic teachings. From her secret doctrine all nations have borrowed. India, Persia, Chaldea, Media, China, Japan, Assyria, Ancient Greece and Rome and other ancient countries partook liberally at the feast of knowledge, which the hierophants and masters of the land of Isis so freely provided for those who came prepared to partake of the great store of mystic and occult lore which the masterminds of that ancient land had gathered together.
Shout out to Isis.
In ancient Egypt dwelt the great adepts and masters who have never been surpassed and who seldom have been equalled during the centuries that have taken their processional flight since the days of the great Hermes. In Egypt was located the great lodge of lodges of the mystics.
Stop it! Shout out to the Masonic lodges. The great lodges of lodges is in Egypt, bro. I'm still wondering why everybody calls us evil. What? Please don't get caught up in the Vatican people that have infiltrated us and try to act like we're evil, bro. Those of y'all that's been watching me for years know I ain't never went live on nothing that's even close to evil. Here we go.
Doors of her temples entered the neophytes, who afterwards, as hierophants, adepts and masters, travelled to the four corners of the earth, carrying with them the precious knowledge which they were ready, anxious and willing to pass on to those who were ready to receive the same.
That's what we do.
All students of the occult recognise the debt that they owe to these venerable masters of that ancient land.
Thank y'all.
But amongst these great masters of ancient Egypt, there once dwelt one of whom masters hailed as the Master of Masters.
The Master of Masters.
This man, if man indeed he was, dwelt in Egypt in the earliest days. He was known as Hermes Trismegistus.
Yes.
He was the father of the occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, the discoverer of alchemy.
Wait, the discoverer of alchemy, the founder of astrology, the founder of alchemy, the founder of astrology. It just confuses me how people that claim to know alchemy and astrology don't even know Hermes Trismegistus nor the Kybalion.
Details of his life story are lost to history, owing to the lapse of the years, though several of the ancient countries disputed with each other in their claims to the honour of having furnished his birthplace, and this thousands of years ago. The date of his sojourn in Egypt, in that his last incarnation on this planet, is not now known, but it has been fixed at the early days of the oldest dynasties of Egypt, long before the days of Moses. The best authorities regard him as a...
Whoa. He said long before the days of Moses. Remember the question that I asked you? Who wrote Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, you remember? Moses wrote those books. So where did Moses get them from? Let me just tell you. The Christians that say, oh, yeah, God said with him and gave him all of them. Come on, bro. So the first 5 books of the Old Testament, which Christianity bases the creation of the world on, we're talking about was written with one person and we don't even know how he wrote it. We claim that God took him up and told him. Let me stop.
Contemporary of Abraham, and some of the Jewish traditions go so far as to claim that Abraham acquired a portion of his mystic knowledge from Hermes himself.
I told you. Here we go.
As the years rolled by after his passing from this plane of life, tradition recording that he lived 300 years in the flesh, the Egyptians deified Hermes and made him one of their gods under the name of Thoth. Years after, the people of ancient Greece also made him one of their many gods, calling him Hermes, the god of wisdom. The Egyptians revered his memory for many centuries, yes, tens of centuries, calling him the scribe of the gods, and bestowing upon him distinctively his ancient title Trismegistus, which means the thrice great, the great great, the greatest great, etc. In all the...
Sorry, I'm trying to stay calm. Sorry. I'm sorry. I get excited. Sorry. I know it's not exciting for y'all. It might not be entertaining to y'all. It's that exciting. And it's that entertaining to me where I have to control my tears. I've watched many people do podcasts on this kind of stuff. And it just seems like it doesn't move them the same way. Not saying that I'm better. It just seems like it doesn't move them. And I struggle, and I told y'all I struggle with how can you speak about this knowledge and wisdom that you're trying to teach, or even listen to it without being moved by it. Sorry. When I first came on live stream, I called myself 3. Okay? Hermes Trismegistus means he's the thrice greatest. Shout out to the one that was raised after the 3rd day. We know how important 3 is. The Mother, Father, and the Mother, the Holy Spirit, the Father, and the Son. We talked about that in the secret book of John. The thrice greatest. Because back then, like I said, you can be great, student. You can be great teacher, but the great. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Ancient lands, the name of Hermes Trismegistus was revered, the name being synonymous with the fount of wisdom. Even to this day, we use the term hermetic in the sense of secret, sealed so that nothing can escape, etc. And this by reason of the fact that the followers of Hermes always observed the principle of secrecy in their teachings. They did not believe in casting pearls before swine, but rather held to the teaching, milk for babes, meat for strong men, both of which maxims are familiar to readers of the Christian scriptures.
So that means the people that's not ready for the mysteries, you give them the lower mysteries, which is referred to as milk. People that's ready for the real mysteries, you give them the higher mysteries, which we call meat. I don't eat no meat, so I don't know. As far as the physical, I'm just saying. All right, so that's why we say milk for babes, meat for strong men. All right, like even when, anyway, here we go.
Both of which had been used by the Egyptians for centuries before the Christian era.
Right.
And this policy of careful dissemination of the truth has always characterized the Hermetics, even unto the present day. The Hermetic teachings are to be found in all lands, among all religions,
I told you.
but never identified with any particular country, nor with any particular religious sect. This is because of the warning of the ancient teachers against allowing the secret doctrine to become crystallized into a creed. The wisdom of this caution is apparent to all students of history. The ancient occultism of India and Persia degenerated and was largely lost, owing to the fact that the teachers became priests. And
so, that's why a lot of people don't come to the occult side. That's why a lot of people don't get into mysticism, because they want to be praised. They want to be preached. They want everybody to come to them and bow to them. And then the people that don't say that they're a priest, they come out here and get money off of you and watch you go crazy over them, and they sit back. That's what ruins it. When we start holding people in high regard, that's the problem. That's the problem that happened in India and Persia. They wanted to be priests, bro. That's what happened with the church. They wanted to be priests and have a hierarchy. There's no hierarchy in this shit. As above, so below is no hierarchy. It's balance. We're almost done.
So mix theology with the philosophy, the result being that the occultism of India and Persia has been gradually lost amidst the mass of religious superstition cults, creeds and gods. So it was with ancient Greece and Rome. So it was with the Hermetic teachings of the Gnostics and early Christians, which were lost at the...
Shout out to the Gnostics. Now, he just said our teachings of Gnostics... You know what's on my stomach. He said it was lost. Hold up. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a historian. But I do know times and measures. Okay? I told y'all. So, when this book was released, it was released in 1912 to the public. Okay? The book that I'm giving you the higher mysteries on was released in the public in 1890, bro. This was released in 1912. And they didn't even know that this was the higher mystery book that I'm giving you in the other series was released. Okay? And then they also, this is before the Nag Hammadi Library was founded in 1945 in Nag Hammadi. Egypt. Okay? And though Secret Book of John and the books that I go live over that are banned from the Bible are from the Nag Hammadi Library, that wasn't found till 1945. So at the time that this was published, they thought that all that stuff was lost. But they didn't even know that with them putting this out, it threw a vibration out. And all of a sudden, the teaching of the early Christians and Gnostics were found. It's on now. Here we go.
Time of Constantine, whose iron hand smothered philosophy with the blanket of theology, losing to the Christian church that which was its very essence and spirit, and causing it to grope throughout several centuries before it found the way back to its ancient faith. The indications apparent to all careful observers in this 20th century being that the church is now struggling to get back to its ancient mystic teaching.
That's right. The church coming back to its ancient mystic teachings. Here we go.
Yes. But there were always a few faithful souls who kept alive the flame, tending it carefully and not allowing its light to become extinguished. And thanks to these staunch hearts and fearless minds, we have the truth still with us. But it is not found in books to any great extent. It has been passed along from master to student, from initiate to hierophant, from lip to ear. When it was written down at all, its meaning was veiled in terms of alchemy and astrology, so that only those possessing the key could read it aright. This was made necessary in order to avoid the persecutions of the theologians of the Middle Ages, who fought the secret doctrine with fire and sword, stake, gibbet, and cross.
Man, he's talking about when they burned us, October 13th, 1307. Shout out to the Knights Templar. Y'all know I'm a Knights Templar. We had to keep it in secret and chill, because the Christian Crusaders and all of them were coming out burning us and killing us, and not only burning and killing us, but burning and killing our wives and calling them witches. Sorry I get so emotional with that. They thought it was over. They thought they burned all our books. They thought they burned and got rid of everything, and it was a new world order that they were starting. Oops. Oops. He didn't burn them all. And we reincarnated and came back stronger than ever, and we ready. Say it, Will. I'ma say it. You study any scientist in the world will say now, that the universe is expanding. How was it that Pistis Sophia was released in 1890? And Jesus said himself that I'm giving you these higher mysteries, but I'm going to give you the highest mystery at the expansion of the universe. So people wonder why I get so excited. Why I got so excited starting in 2016, and I told y'all and it's coming. It's happening now. And it says it will be something like that has never been seen and will ever be seen again. The angels, the heavens, nobody know but us. The few humans. It's going down. The mysteries are expanding. Give them another mystery. I got them. He said, I didn't come here. People think I came to save the world. I came to throw fire up on the world. That fire that he's talking about is the mysteries. That's why they call it a flame. Okay? Bet you didn't know even what that verse meant. Here we go.
Even to this day there will be found but few reliable books on the Hermetic philosophy, although there are countless references to it in many books written on various phases of occultism. And yet, the Hermetic philosophy is the only master key which will open all the doors of the occult teaching. In the early days, there was a compilation of certain basic Hermetic doctrines passed on from teacher to student, which was known as the Kybalion. The exact significance and meaning of the term having been lost for several centuries.
I don't know what it means.
This teaching, however, is known to many to whom it has descended, from mouth to ear, on and on throughout the centuries. Its precepts have never been written down or printed, so far as we know.
don't know.
It was merely a collection of maxims, axioms, and precepts, which were non-understandable to outsiders, but which were readily understood by students, after the axioms, maxims, and precepts had been explained and exemplified by the Hermetic initiates to their neophytes. These teachings really constituted the basic principles of the art of Hermetic alchemy, which, contrary to general belief, dealt in the mastery of mental forces rather than material.
Hold on. It dealt with mental forces. Not with turning lead into gold. Mental forces. That's the mental force I was talking about earlier. Somebody got their I am stronger than you. They're gonna move you. You see what I'm saying? By mental force. This is why you see this in relationships. Oh, the girl wear the pants in that relationship. Oh, no, in that relationship, the man wear the pants. It depends on who has the strongest mental force. But shout out to the relationships where they have equal mental force that can come together and unite in the real mystery of union. Here we go.
Elements, the transmutation of one kind of mental vibrations into others, instead of the changing of one kind of metal into another.
You hear me? You hear me? Mental vibration into another mental vibration. Okay, somebody call you crying and they struggling. You talk to them, and then they're like, "Oh man, I feel so much better." You just changed their whole mental vibration, bro. Get back, Will. I'm back. Here we go.
Legends of the Philosopher's Stone, which would turn base metal into gold, was an allegory relating to Hermetic philosophy.
It was.
Readily understood by all students of true Hermeticism.
Yep.
In this little book, of which this is the first lesson, we invite our students to examine into the Hermetic teachings as set forth in the Kybalion, and as explained by ourselves, humble students of the teachings who, while bearing the title of initiates, are still students at the feet of Hermes, the Master. We herein give you many of the maxims, axioms, and precepts of the Kybalion, accompanied by explanations and illustrations which we deem likely to render the teachings more easily comprehended by the modern student, particularly as the original text is purposely veiled in obscure terms. The original maxims, axioms, and precepts of the Kybalion are printed herein in quotation marks. The proper...
So, I will put the written version in the comments like I always do of every book that I go live over so you can study it yourself in a written form. In a written form, it's going to be in quotations. The original axioms are quotes from Hermeticism. The rest of what's written in the book, which we will be going live over, are things that the Hermetics, us Hermetics, have put in there to help explain it more. All right? Because it's hard to understand. Here we go. We're wrapping it up.
Credit being given. Our own work is printed in the regular way, in the body of the work. We trust that the many students to whom we now offer this little work will derive...
Hold the fuck up. I'm trusting you now. I'm not supposed to be giving this to just everybody like this. I'm giving it to you through a mystery. Which means that if the heavens hold me accountable to it, I have a mystery within myself that I'm able to do this. But that means you got to do something with it. Or guess who gets in trouble? I do. But that's okay. I put my head on a limb for you. Here we go.
Of as much benefit from the study of its pages as have the many who have gone on before, treading the same path to mastery throughout the centuries that have passed since the times of Hermes Trismegistus, the Master of Masters, the Great. In the words of the Kybalion,
say it.
Where fall the footsteps of the Master, the ears of those ready for his teachings open wide. The Kybalion.
The Kybalion.
Where the ears of the student are ready to hear, then cometh lips to fill them with wisdom.
The Kybalion.
The Kybalion.
Sorry.
So that, according to the teachings, the passage of this book to those ready for the instruction will attract the attention of such as are prepared to receive the teaching. And likewise, when the pupil is ready to receive the truth, then will this little book come to him or her.
So that's the mystery that I'm doing this through. The only reason that you're watching this live right now is because you're meant to. And you're ready. You watch this live and you say, "Oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't got no time for that." And you move on. It's going to be bad. Because this came to you. You wasn't just scrolling. Nothing happens by accident. You wasn't just scrolling and happened. This came to you. And I tell you guys all the time for years, don't look at me. You think it's me talking to you. This is a oneness. This is you talking to you. We almost done now.
Such is the law.
Such is the law.
The Hermetic principle of cause and effect,
yes,
in its aspect of the law of attraction,
yes,
will bring lips and ear together.
And this is through the law of attraction.
And book in company.
Yes.
So mote it be.
So mote it be. Sorry.
End of chapter 1 of the Kybalion by 3 initiates.
I'll be trying not to get that term. And you know that's a Masonic term, so mote it be. All right. And it's not just Masonic, that's most secret societies say. All right. Because it's going to be like it's going to be, so mote it be. All right. So thank y'all so much. That was the introduction and chapter 1 of the Kybalion. We will go through the whole book. We'll be going through that when we go back into this series. Next week, we'll be getting back into the golden sayings of Epictetus, finishing, with that series. So yeah, I did choose to do 3 series because I'm so turned. All of this that I say and all of that shit that's in me, bro. So just think how much stuff I need to get out. Sorry. I love this shit. Thank y'all for watching. I'll put the link in the notes. In the comments. I'm used to corporate office. We talk about notes. And that was like 10 years ago I was in a corporate office and I'm still like notes. I'll put it in the comments, this link, so you can listen to it. I'll put the written version in the comments as well. And I'll put my YouTube channel where I store these live videos at, because this will be deleted in 30 days. All right. Other than that, it is Monday. Hope you have a great week and all of that shit. And thank you for watching. My tongue's coming out.